South Africa, within context right now, is leading the charge internationally from a legal perspective. So the legal fraternity today has called on the public and the fraternity to come out in front of the High Court to raise their voices against the oppression that we see.
Our efforts towards giving the world a human face. Today, for the first time in a long time, I'm actually quite proud to be in South Africa.
We would like to have all legal practitioners in South Africa understand and take up the fight for the Palestinians. Not only the Palestinians, but people across the globe who are oppressed. Also in South Africa, there are many days where lawyers act and they act for people and they think, is this fight really worth it? Today was an indication for people globally that the fight for liberation and the fight of oppressed people will not go without the sacrifices of legal practitioners to stand up for the rule of law.
It is no time that we should be on the forefront at the Hague where we do the application to see what is happening in Palestine, what is happening in Gaza is a genocide.
Just before I came here, I had a telephonic conversation with a fellow colleague, South African, and this person said that, what do you think we can do about all of this whilst our legal team is representing us at Hague? Because I was watching that at the time when I received his call. And anyway, I said to him that despite us believing that we are not capable of truly representing the oppressed, in this case the Palestinians, we have a voice in this world. And the UK and the US was mentioned by him because they're so much bigger. And I said, you know what? They are supporting the atrocities. And we have a voice. We've proven to ourselves we have voices and it will be heard. And today again we have that platform to stand for the rights of Palestine.
In particular, South Africa being a country at one of the most southern tips of the globe, and perhaps in the midst of countries that call themselves superpowers, has again raised to the occasion of being a forerunner in human rights. Like we have stood up against apartheid in the past, we're now standing up against apartheid again.
Today marks a very important day internationally and globally, as the proceedings has commenced at the ICJ between the South African government and Israel. We are out here today at the Cape Town Western Cape High Court to support our legal team that's representing the South African government for them to fight for victory and the liberation of Palestine.
And that is all that we can do right now. We don't have all the resources to fully, support them, and we have to do what we can.
Palestinian awareness events like this one is immensely important to the freedom of Palestine. It is no secret that the Western media wants to stifle and silence the cries and the voices of those who are being murdered by the genocidal state of Israel. But we can be their voice, we can be their face, and therefore we must show up for every march, we must show up for every picket, we must continue raising awareness for Palestine on social media, in person, and on every platform that we can. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. We just need to all come together and do what we must do.
We should have had a better turnout from the legal fraternity. We're supposed to be fighting for justice, and I am of the opinion that we should have had a better turnout. I do understand that court's in recess, so there's a lot of people are still on leave, but I think we should do another event.
Of the legal fraternity not being here, we're making a very bad assumption that they are not tapping in, they are not watching the live broadcast of that very important representation happening. So can you be in two places at the same time? Perhaps they are getting alive, but we can't assume.
Today, of the legal fraternity, prominent members within our society, members of the public, united in solidarity at the High Court of Cape Town to extend our support to the people of Palestine and our legal team of South Africa, who is levelling charges of genocide against Israel at the International Court of Justice at The Hague. The importance of this solidarity of the legal fraternity of South Africa presents our united fight against injustice, oppression, and the human rights violations of Palestine committed by Israel. Today, we hold our head high and proudly note that we are South Africans. We are on the forefront of holding Israel accountable for the atrocities that they have committed against the people of Palestine. From the legal case, emergency measures is the first step in this matter. It is a restraining order to prevent further atrocities being committed pending a full investigation and hearing of the case of genocide and its merits.
A number of speakers has raised their voice, and I think we as South Africans have to continually stand up against the oppression. We've got to continue to raise our voices. We've got to continue to have various fraternities like the legal fraternity standing up and standing in solidarity of those standing on the forefront at the International Court of Justice. So in the end of the day, I hope that this is not going to be the last of its kind, but a continued action on the part of South Africa.
Occupation no more. 5, 6,